Hello, my fellow gnomes. We are live in Total Football. New game in the works. Am I a little bit off center here? Can we fix that a little bit? Maybe. I don't know. We've got a load of books in frame. We've got half a bookcase behind me. And then I've got the plaque up. New backdrop. New house. And content. When was the last time I made a video, guys, or even went live? It's been a while. But I've been busy working on this new game, football game, for, of course, World Cup coming up. And this is what we got. I'm hoping some of you guys are gonna come in and playtest with us. I've already got someone who come and joined. Pretty cool. But hello to everyone in the chat anyway. We've got Anthony, Nerve8, Coda13, Budget Gamer, Crazy Trek, Albert, Splash. Nerve8 says looking good. So if you want to join this game, let me get the link out. I mean, I don't know who's going to be able to join with the beauty that is the Roblox system nowadays. But here we go. Let's get into the game. I need to get my chat working in OBS actually before I do this, because as usual it doesn't want to work, so you'll have to bear with me a moment. Let's see if we can actually connect to YouTube. That would always be nice. I don't know if there's like a way to keep it logged in, or maybe I just need to stream more often, right? Maybe that's the big idea. I just don't stream often enough, I guess. Signing in with two-factor authentication. I love the modern world. I hope you can hear the music for this game. I think it's pretty cool. Had this commissioned, so I hope you guys like it. I'm playing about with a bunch of my OBS settings, so hopefully you can hear the music. If you can't hear the music, then I'll have to dive into the settings and make sure you guys can hear it. And actually, I should let the people in the Discord know I'm live streaming. That's probably a thing we should do. Oh, there we go. Finally, we got the chat in, and we've got the feed. So OBS is finally behaving itself. Does everyone like my professional thumbnail I threw on for this live stream? It's not even like 4:3 ratio. It's just a very lazy screenshot. But I thought maybe it made it look interesting. I don't know. Let's do a little. Let's do a little ping in the Discord at Game Tester. There we go. Cool. Yeah, let's just dive into the game. So I've got my controller here because I think this works pretty well with a controller. And let's play a game and see how we do. Okay. That's interesting. My key bindings have broken. I can move around, but there's something. Oh, wait, did I just manage to. Let me try reconnecting my controller. No. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, wait, what? I can lob, but I can't. Oh, I know what it is. I can't press A because it's still the binding is still there from the ready button. Huh. Hasn't happened in studio, so it must be some kind of race condition happening there. So I'm playing on hard mode here, guys. I can't tackle and I can't pass. So I've just got to hope that I win the ball and then try and lob it. I see Krongi says, this is very advanced technology that you've made in Roblox Studio. Well, thank you, sir. So, yeah, I mean, this is actually using a brand new thing for Roblox, which is the Server Authority beta. So, yeah, bit of a headache to get working, but it's not perfect. There's certainly a few performance issues sometimes. I'm hoping that Roblox are going to make it better over time because, because it's still in beta, right? So hopefully it will get better. Obviously, because it's server authority, the client is predicting where you're going to move. So controls feel a little bit more sluggish, and sometimes you'll get lag compared to playing, like just controlling a normal client, right? And all the other rigs are being controlled by the server all time. All right, we're gonna have to do something about those key bindings. Let's go back to PC controls, then we can try and get ourselves a goal. But yeah, Cookie said, is this basically FIFA? Yeah, Roblox FIFA, exactly. There we go. We're back in the running. Your old basic football game got a huge upgrade. Yeah, pretty much. I think if what was it, like 3 years ago I made that or something. I think if 3 years ago me saw this, I would be pretty amazed. Ooh, nice shot. No, this isn't going to be a tutorial. This is just this is a project of mine, which is going to be a proper release as a game. So, you know, very much looking for feedback, any bugs, anything like that. Then here is where I hopefully gonna crush them, because when we release the game this week, especially, you know, I was kind of been thinking that the World Cup is like my deadline for this thing. And when's the World Cup? Like just over a week away. So we've got to get this thing out there. Just to give you guys a little kind of template of what the thing, little demo, what it looks like. So we've got club customization, and that's interesting. It still keeps the controller selection, even though the controller isn't connected anymore. We should stop that from happening. Let's get some paper. Selected object after Gamepad disconnect. And then we also need to write down the other issue, which was like that A button wasn't rebinding, or that it was at a wrong. We might be able to just do it with a priority, so then we don't even need to worry about the race condition if that's what it is. But A button stuck binding to ready. I think that's what's happening anyway. So we've got loads of kit customization in here. I haven't unlocked any of these kits yet, so these are things that you have to buy. We've got real football kits in here as well. Got good old Leeds United. Some team or other that did something recently. Not really. No one's really heard of those though. And you can change the color as well of these kits, and you can even do something like that. Pretty cool. Yeah, we've got the shop. We've got all your kits in here. So this is like a rotating shop. So I think it's like every 8 hours this resets. So you get a new pool of stuff you can buy, and then you can buy the packs if you want to. Then you can take these out. Oh, you're seeing the Xbox controls even without a gamepad connected? Have you got a gamepad connected? Wonder. Oh yeah, let me pin it. There we go. There is the link to come and join me for some testing. I actually quite enjoy just playing against the AI, to be honest. It's quite... so this is another thing that I've noticed come up a few times, is I don't load in with the kit sometimes. If you start cycling through, then it comes back around, but I don't know why no kit. Oh, it's Xbox on the Surface GUI. Okay, for the packs. Yeah, that's probably my bad, because I literally just added that. I think I probably just literally forgot to add the input check. The kit looks unnatural. I mean, yeah, but this is Roblox. I feel like this is a good balance. It's kind of a style choice. Yeah, it looks a bit weird. Right, so you see this lag here? That is a result of the server authority. So it's like you're kind of getting a misprediction, and then it's like trying to reconnect and catch up. It's not ideal, is it? I'm not really sure how to fix that at the moment. So that's why these playtests are happening, to kind of get a feel for how often that happens. Because I'm inclined to say that I think it's tolerable. Like, it doesn't happen very often. Why am I using server authority? Because that's the only way to do it, really. For a game like this, with multiplayer ball, lots of collisions like this, you can't really have client authority, and all of the footballs as well. So when I'm not controlling one, it's just being run by the server, and then when I take it over, it's being controlled, authoritated by the server as well. So you're seeing everyone else's positions in real time. So a big pet peeve of mine with... there's so many football games on Roblox, or soccer if you're American, but I think, frankly, all of them are complete pants. Because what typically happens, well, one, you don't get to control the whole team. So that's what's so unique about this game is, it's like a traditional football game like FIFA or PES or anything else, right? Whereas pretty much every football game or nearly every sports game on Roblox, you just control one guy, which I think is a pretty rubbish experience. And then on top of that, what you end up happening is you'll be dribbling along with the ball like this. And then a guy that feels like he's really far away from you will suddenly magically tackle you because there's a bunch of server delay between where you think you are on your screen and where the other player is. So then you end up getting tackled, and even though it looks like they were nowhere near you, and then because you only control one guy, you spend another like minute just chasing after the ball, nowhere near any of the action. So boring. Whereas if you control the whole team, you can be doing stuff, passing it around, and because that's a big problem as well, is teamwork. Right? A lot of people don't want to actually work together on a team, which is a pretty big part of any team sport. So this means that you actually get to play a bit more like a real football team rather than just like a bunch of 10-year-old school kids that only know how to chase the ball. I tried this on a bad connection. Yes, inside of studio, and that's actually the beauty of the server authority, is that it actually means that people with a fast connection don't have like a big innate advantage. I mean, it's pretty well made by Roblox, really. I think they've done a good job. I don't know if anyone else is really building anything with it yet. I know they put out some demos, and there's a few people talking about it over on the forum posts Roblox have put out, but most of the people are like complaining about stuff. So I might do a post to say like, hey, Roblox engineers, here's what I'm making. And I think it's turning out pretty cool at the moment. Got to get some love from the Roblox team. That's what I'm thinking. All right, and then we got the league table. No one else is on the league table yet. Oh, it's because I'm in Division 9. I moved up a division, so I'm gonna be on my own all this week. Yeah, but I think I can't get promoted, so I'll just stay in here this week, and then the people in Division 10 will be able to move up. So you should go up a division if you're in the promotion slots. So I can't see this on my screen, but you should see green, and then it runs for the whole week. And then so you see it starts every Monday, so we've got a whole week ahead of us now. And then when that week runs out, if you're in the promotion slots, then you should go up to Division 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the top one being Division 1. Then the amount of slots changes. So I think it's a maximum of 20 teams per, or 20 players per division. So Werewolf, have you played a game yet? Because you might be looking at last season's division. If there's not a countdown, you're looking at last season's. I need to make this clearer, but that's what I've got at the moment. Yes, as in you're looking at last season's. As soon as you play a game, you join the new season. So you might have got promoted. Yeah, you're looking at last season. So if you play a game, you'll be able to come and join me in the new season. Isn't the progression a bit slow paced for Roblox? Yeah, maybe, but you got to try these things. Like often people come up with a mechanic and then everyone does it, right? So yeah, maybe it won't work. In which case, we'll try a different league progression. It was actually inspired by Duolingo, believe it or not. The other alternative to doing that style of progression is just to have it where you need like an artificial amount of points. So it's like, oh, you have to play. You've got 10 games available per season, and it doesn't matter, what time period you play the 10 games, and you have to win X amount. Which would work fine. When I used to play FIFA, I remember that Ultimate Team mode kind of worked like that. I don't know if it works like that now. But I just thought it'd be more fun to have a kind of a list of players that you're like in a league with. So that's why I've gone for this model. But yeah, I know it's a bit different for Roblox. People asking how to join. Well, the link is pinned. Though Roblox nowadays is pretty restrictive, so if you're not if you're under 16, you might not be able to join. I can't keep up with all the rules, but I think that's how it works. Yeah, it is a bit jittery. I was talking about that earlier. I'm not sure there's a lot that I can do to fix it because of how it's engineered. That's why this is still in beta. The thing is, though, despite it being jittery, it does mean you are, with it being server authority, you are actually seeing the real positions of players rather than what I described earlier with a lot of multiplayer games, is that you see a player in one place and you go to tackle them, and actually the server says, nope, they're in a different place. And that can be really frustrating. So, I mean, maybe people disagree, but I think it's nice to know where people actually are, even if it occasionally like locks up for like 1 second per game or whatever. Like, it doesn't happen a lot. It's pretty smooth. Have you adapted this to console? Yes, it is on console. There is 1 or 2 things we need to fix with the key bindings, but it is playable on console. I've got my controller right here. We can try plugging it in. Let's see. Can we? Oh yeah, we can't press A, which is a bit of an issue. So we can't tackle because I messed up the key bindings on there. But we'll fix that after this session. Someone says, is it only 1v1? Yeah, at the moment. I mean, I guess you could have it with 11v11, but my whole motivation for making this game was to have the enjoyment of being able to control the whole team, as in a classic FIFA experience, because there's already a million soccer games on the platform where you control the whole team, and so where you control just one player. And as I said earlier, I don't think, okay, hate's a bit strong, but I just don't think that actually they're very good games, to be honest. I find them frustrating to play. I guess we could in the future have something where you could maybe be like 2 versus 2. You could have 2 people on the same team. That could work quite well. Could be a good balance. But I'm just focusing on the 1v1 aspect right now. You should add callouts and NPCs asking for passes. Yeah, that is one thing that I would like to do better, is the AI of the other players. Because at the moment, they don't really make like good runs or anything. It's hard to do right. Okay, Werewolf is in my division now. Cool. So there you go, nice and clear. See, there's only 1 promotion slot at the moment, and I'm going to get promoted. I think you're not going to get relegated because there's not enough people in the league. So if we got more people in, you would you'd go down. I wonder if we can get anyone else into the division. Do I plan on making divisions an important thing? Ooh. Well, yeah, I want it to be a kind of an extra motivation for playing the games. I mean, you've got the fun of playing the game itself, and then you've got the kind of progression of unlocking your kits and stuff in the shop, right? And then you've got the division system as like an extra meta progression. I it is lacking though, isn't it? To be a little bit more sort of exciting, but I think this is a good start for now. Yo, they got promotions and everything. Yo, literally FIFA. Exactly, that guy likes it. That guy gets it. Light Motork says this would. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Says this would have quite a large niche audience. A large niche audience. Well, I suppose it's niche. It's never gonna. This is never gonna be the biggest game on Roblox, is it? But obviously, FIFA is one of the biggest games in the world, so I feel like it's a pretty big audience. The FIFA video game and football, both very popular. And if you look at the existing football games on the platform currently, which I don't think are very good, well, there's maybe 50,000 CCU among various football type games. So there's plenty of players that are looking for a football experience. So I certainly don't think it's too niche by any means. But yeah, thanks again for the what was that 5 Romanian? What was it, Ron? I don't know what that is. I think it's Romanian. Zarfine says, when is it releasing? Well, this week, hopefully. I've set it. I think it's currently set to public, but like in beta mode, so it doesn't go in home recommendations or anything. So yeah, we're just giving a play. Yeah, Colchisan says, hearing the word football while talking about what is called soccer in America hurts my American brain. Yeah, I know. It was a big decision, actually, going for the football branding. You know, I thought, shall I call it soccer? But I couldn't do it. I'm English. I could not name the game soccer. It just wouldn't feel right to name it soccer. So I hope that this doesn't hurt me in terms of like the keywords or getting players or anything. I really hope it doesn't hurt the game. I don't know. I was kind of thought about trying to avoid the question altogether by calling it something like Kickabout League or, you know, something. But then even Kickabout, I mean, that's like an English slang for playing football in the park. I don't know if people use that around the world. And football is the term that is used around the world outside of the United States. So arguably soccer's more niche. I don't know. I just want to name the game football. That's the real name. Yeah, so most of the world calls it football, so you shouldn't worry about it. Exactly. Localized names, says Cookiebot. Well, Roblox do translate the name automatically, don't they now? But I don't think they'd automatically translate football. And I don't think you can manually do that as far as I know. Oh, cool. I got the AI in this time. I actually like playing the AI on hard mode. Feels like quite a fun difficulty. Because they basically just sprint at you all the time. And they're actually capable of scoring. Like on easy and medium. As long as you know what they're doing, you're doing. Like the AI can't really score against you. What do I think about the publishing requirement changes? Honestly, I just think it's a real shame. That's the best way I can think to put it. Um, the Roblox that I joined as a kid, and you know that I got my start as a as a professional developer on, where you could just make a game and publish it and get loads of people to play it. That world is gone now, and that's really sad, especially for like the next generation of kids coming up. It's going to be a very different place for them now. To some extent, this is inevitable. Everything gets more corporate, and we live in this world of litigation culture. I don't really believe Roblox had a choice, to be honest with you. They're facing a lot of lawsuits, all the bad PR. It's like they either did this or they did something else, right? But I always said when, the last sort of 18 months or so, people have been saying, oh, Roblox needs to get harder on their moderation and all this. Be careful what you wish for. That's what I always said. And now it has come to pass. You've got your heavy-handed moderation. The people that were cheering on the lawsuits and stuff, I mean, I never understood that. People sort of cheering on when, like, was it Louisiana or something took Roblox to court that just because they like decided they were on Team Schlapp or whatever. I mean, yeah, nobody wants, let's just say bad actors on the platform. Nobody wants that kind of vile stuff. Right? So it's silly to pretend that like you're being brave for standing up to it. Nobody wants that. Unfortunately, that is a problem of the world, but also the internet. And I do think Roblox is weirdly judged when a lot of the stuff happens off platform on stuff like Discord. But what do you do? I mean, Roblox has had the chat system, which was wonderful because it's like an MMO or metaverse type game. It's a social game, and now the chat's been nuked. It's a tragic thing, but again, what are Roblox supposed to do? I have no idea. How doesn't YouTube have the same issue? They deal with it somehow. Well, I think it's the fact that they don't have chat, do they? I mean, they have comments, but comments aren't really interactive in the same way, and they all get filtered, don't they? If you type anything in the chat, it can be filtered after the fact. So it's less of a live thing, which I think that's always what makes people concerned about. I understand why parents are concerned about Roblox. The idea is that your kid is playing a kid's game, and then in real time they're interacting with some random adult. Of course, it makes sense. I still believe it's not Roblox's fault and the parents not being involved enough in what the children are consuming. I mean, yes, there are parents out there who will just sit their kids in front of a iPad or whatever for 12 hours a day. Those parents exist. But you can't really police parents. That's just not how it works, unfortunately. Yeah, the performance was a little bit choppy, wasn't it, on that game? I'll be honest, on the ID thing, I totally get everyone being against it. But I think I mean, it is weird, right? It's a kids' game. Well, it used to be. And it's like, oh, now you have to enter your ID to use it. So I do totally get people don't want to use it and they don't trust random companies with their ID. But to be honest, at this point, as an adult, I've had to give my ID for so many services, both physical and digital. I'm just kind of used to it. And especially because I'm doing it professionally, like it's not really any skin off my back. It just feels kind of normal. You know, it's like you want to buy a car or buy a house or something, you have to use one of these modern, you know, identity verification services. Modern world. Cookiebot says, can't you do client authority when versus the AI? Yeah, I could do. I mean, if you look on my Twitter account, I put some videos of this gameplay quite early on, and that was all client authoritative, which meant that the handling was really nice and smooth. But the only issue is if we want to make it a competitive game, so we can do divisions and you earn currency and all that, then there needs to be server authority, because otherwise you can just have people farming the coins and everything saying, oh yeah, I scored a bunch of goals. And once you start trying to layer some sort of server check on the top of it is very difficult, because how can you know where the ball was and what position they were in and whether they had possession or not to make the shot without running a simulation on the server? And then at that point, you're running two different simulations. And now you've got to worry about keeping the two simulations in sync with each other, which is almost impossible. And I spent a while trying to do this. I couldn't find a solution to it. Then I started trying to make my own sort of client prediction system. And then I saw Roblox had come out with their server authority. So I've switched to using theirs. It's not perfect. Like I've said, I'm not sure if I can get the performance any better. I mean, I've noticed that some of the demo projects that Roblox have put out for the server authority, even they are a little bit jittery at times. But that's just when you're controlling one player character, right? And so with my game, because it's 22 players on the pitch, there's a lot of simulation happening. It's a lot. So I like to think that the functionality will get better over time, and also that the game is fun enough and those jittery moments of the lag are sporadic enough that actually the game is still fun enough. I guess we'll find that out. It's a shame no one else is in our division, Werewolf. I probably shouldn't make it so you can get promoted if there's only two of you. There should be like, I don't know, 4 people in the division maybe in order to get promoted. Zarfine says there are many other approaches they could have taken. I think that's mainly why Roblox gets hate. I think they're taking the worst route possible now. I don't know. What other route could Roblox have taken? I don't know. I hear a lot of people say they should have more human moderators, but I feel like that's... Oh, is this not anchored? Huh. Yeah, I mean, more human moderators. I mean, that sounds great, but it's just a total non-starter when you look at the amount of traffic on Roblox. You'd have to be employing like the entirety of the British population as moderators. It's just not viable. Ruzo Real also asking about getting an ID to publish a game to all ages. You'll have to rewind the live stream. We've talked about it a bit. Where is Werewolf? I see you in the server, but I don't see you. Oh, you're over here. You're hiding over here. How much was AI used in the making of this game? Yeah, I used a little bit of Claude with MCP, Claude Code. If you haven't used it, you should give it a try. It's got so many flaws and downsides to using it, but there's a lot of positives too. So I might make a video talking about it. Because I feel like you only ever hear two extremes with AI, right? You hear people saying that, oh, I just generated $1 million game, or you know, the opposite. People saying it's completely useless, or people saying that, oh, it's immoral just to use, right? I mean, it's just a tool, as far as I'm concerned. I don't really have time for the moralizing on it. There's a lot of other things you could morally grandstand about. I really I mean, I don't know. There's too much to get into on this live stream. But anyway, just it's not something that I think you should be rejecting outright, even if you don't like it, because it's where things are going. It doesn't mean that skills are invalid, but you've got to have some sense of how to use this stuff. What's this? Right. Who's the Cookie Bot? Right, come on, Cookie Bot, you're going down. He's not moving. I think he's getting used to the controls. But I think I mentioned this earlier. I would really like the AI just to move a little bit better. I think it would make the game feel more alive, because if you look at them closely, like my teammates, they just kind of like, they try and keep their positions and hover around, but they don't like make runs into space or anything. Nothing's moving. Oh, so you're not seeing the simulation? Oh, that's not good. That's really not good, is it? Can you send me like a screenshot of what you see, Cookie? Over on Discord? Because yeah, that's pretty game breaking, isn't it? Oh, are you back now? You say it was frozen for what? Oh, I wasn't looking. You scored. I'm guessing it's still frozen because you're not. Oh, okay. how do I determine what player you control? Well, you should see it down here. You got the controls in the bottom left. So you can manually switch between like the two nearest players, I think, by doing the right click if you're on PC. And then if it's like a big ball, then it tries to like auto switch to someone that's nearer. That's basically the algorithm at the moment. Probably need to fine tune it a little bit so you have a little bit more control, but it's tricky to get the right balance because obviously you don't want to be like cycling through the entire team. Oh, you're using trackpad. That makes sense. I thought that you were just really laggy, so I was really worried. But yeah, this game must be absolutely horrible to play on trackpad. Ooh, that was a nice lag spike. Where did I find the UIs for the passing and switching? I mean this UI at the bottom left with the like the icons of the mouse. I found those off just off the Roblox toolbox. This little, and then I've just got a little diamond that I'm coloring the player. I'm not even sure if that's an image or literally just a frame that's rotated. Yeah, I mean, I didn't upload these the controls. I can link you the. They're pretty much all uploaded by one guy. I imagine they're used by like literally thousands of Roblox games. Yeah, I could send them to you. I'm curious, when you have all these teleports, does it create new servers ever? Or, oh no, we have only got one server. Yeah, we haven't got any custom keybinds. I guess the problem is that well, I don't know. Let me think. I don't even know what would be a good setup if you're using a trackpad. I mean, surely kind of all Roblox games are horrible at that point. Yeah, I moved E as switching player. I mean, the thing is about when you're on PC, you've got the advantage of you've got this aim arrow. So you can be moving this way and passing behind you. Whereas mobile players don't have that advantage. They just have to pass in the direction they're moving. So I suppose I could make that an optional thing for like trackpad players. But I mean, it feels pretty niche. I feel like this game could go viral, like Blue Lock. That's the spirit. That's what we want to hear. But yeah, I mean, the football genre is huge. And like I said earlier, I don't think a lot of the football games are that great. I mean, they're good in their own right, but like as a football game, no one's really tried to emulate the other biggest football games in the world. Like this is like your standard football game anywhere else, but no one's really tried to do this on Roblox. So I do think the potential is huge, but it is different on Roblox, right? Will it find a Roblox audience? I don't know. And it's been a real labor of love hoping and, developing this. So I'm really hoping there's an audience. Otherwise, I'm in trouble because I've spent a lot of time on this, and I really need it to generate an audience. But I suppose it's in God's hands. It's kind of an interesting mix in terms of the gameplay between arcade and simulator. I don't want to go too simulator, so like you can kick it against the sides and it bounces off, for instance. Um, I don't think like throw-ins would add anything to the game. I don't think it would work particularly well on Roblox. Same with like there's no fouls in the game. You can just take people out if you want by sliding into them from any angle. Feel like that works well for Roblox. Someone's asking about football players that you can unlock. So that is probably one of the biggest things I would like to add to the game. But I'm only going to add that if the game gets an audience, because that is such a huge amount of work. Like I need to have a huge like data set of players and, change how the game works. Because if all the players had different stats, right, different sprint speeds, different shot powers and so on, more balancing to consider. But yeah, that would be a great addition, I think, if you could customize, upgrade your squad over time. You want to try and get like Ronaldo or some generic version of Ronaldo. Yeah, I would love to add that. Just not doing that today. Probably the next thing I will add in terms of content to the game is custom stadiums you can unlock. At the moment, the whole game uses this kind of ugly stadium that I threw together. Just, it's just parts. Like we haven't even got any crowds in the stadium. Yeah, I want to have like different pitches that all have a different feel. I mean, they wouldn't even need to be all on grass. You could do all kinds of things. Like you could have them like a beach themed pitch or like a street themed one. You can have one that's just like in the park, and then like all sorts of stadiums of different sizes. I think that'd be really cool. And then there could be different crowd noises associated with them too. I was going to add that, but I've kind of shelved that idea for now. Just to focus on getting this out, because I've got the balls and the kits and the celebrations you can customize. We've got titles in the game. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really using these that much yet, right? So you start off as FC and you can like unlock, be Gnome Code United. And this is kind of I don't know. I was going to make more of this and now it's still in here, but it's a bit weird, I guess. We got tactics. You can change your tactics. I've not even really tried. I mean, let's try doing a 4-2-3-1. Let's see what that feels like. Yeah, you get coins for getting promoted. Ooh, Nicolchi says, I'd love to see the crowd be based on people on your friends list. Ooh, that would be interesting. I mean, I guess you can't really see the crowd that well, so I don't know how well it would work, to be honest. The other thing is it's like more API calls you have to make when I'm already doing quite a lot of processing for everything, but it could be interesting. You're saying arrow key shooting? How would that work? Then you'd only be able to shoot in 4 directions. No, I think the only way is having the same shooting system I have for mobile, where you just shoot where the direction that you're facing. Firefox Gaming says if the game gets more polishing, it could get an audience. What would you say is the polishing it needs, Firefox? Because I'm all ears. You know, this is a playtesting stream. Love a bit of feedback. Even if I'm going to disagree with you, I'm always interested in feedback. The playtester is never wrong. I mean, no, they're not wrong. There's no such thing as wrong feedback. Just meaning that I won't necessarily implement it. But sometimes people say interesting things and they say, oh, the game needs X. And a lot of the time, the game doesn't need X, but it actually needs Y. So you get that kind of thing a lot. I mean, let me think of a good instance, right? People might say, oh, the game is boring. I wish I could, I don't know, drive to, I don't know, I can't think of a good example, but you just make the existing feature set more interesting, say, rather than adding something entirely new. Nicole, she says, I would like to see goal effects as a potential update in the future. Like having sparklers when you score or something like that. What would be an effect? I mean, you got your little dance, but I guess it's kind of muted. I was considering maybe having like custom songs in the game, for like when you score and stuff. Yeah, something like Rocket League. Yeah, I write that down. More exciting goals. The big problem is the performance, isn't it? I think it is more of an issue than I thought it was. You know, doing this playtest, it is more of an issue. I thought it was more sporadic, whereas you are getting it in every game. Oh, the game, you're not getting the sounds. Oh, that sucks. You're not getting, guys, not getting any sounds at all. Have you not, guys, not been getting sounds the whole time? Uh, right. Let's try and fix that then. All right. Can you hear the sounds now? Can't believe you guys have been missing out on these quality tunes the whole time. Oh, that sucks. No wonder you guys were bored. You've been getting the whole flavor of this thing. Did I jump scare you guys? All right, is that better? Yeah, that track is like a stock Roblox one. But I'm gonna get some new sound in for there. Actually, the track's ready to go. Someone made it for me. I haven't just haven't put it in yet. The biggest technical constraint on this project is the netcode side of it. You know, I've tried so many different implementations. At the moment, I'm using the Roblox Server Authority beta, which works very well, but there are still issues. But it's better than some of the stuff I've made. I mean, I was making some dreadful stuff, to be honest with you. Trying to create my own replication system. And it was just not working. I was getting crazy desyncs. So that's why, you know, I think this is so good compared to the kind of stuff I had going before. When is Tung Tung Sahur coming into the game? Yeah, so he's going to be the first unlockable player. He's going to be a center forward. You can add him to your team for plus 10 morale in the game. So the Server Authority beta, it is still a beta, but you don't have to opt in. Right now they have kind of made it. It's a public beta now. You can publish games with it, right? So this is published. The Roblox engineers are recommending you don't make the game fully public. You just like release it for testing, which is what I'm doing. But I probably am going to release this. So yeah. So I'm saying I don't use the Server Authority as a feature. I don't see using it for my project currently, as it just makes everything feel laggy. Yeah, I mean, the majority of games on Roblox don't really need this. But for this game, it was invaluable, right? That's why no one has made a game like this yet on the platform, because it just wasn't technically feasible. What does Server Authority do? So how Roblox used to handle player movement is that you locally control your player, right? So you tell them to move left and right, and that happens immediately on your device. And so it looks good, it feels smooth, and then that is broadcasted up to the server, and then the server repeats that command back down to everyone else on the other client. So that's pretty good for the client, but it does mean that they can do exploits, right? So it's a common Roblox thing. You have someone that, oh, I can move it at 500 studs a second, or I'm gonna make myself into a spinning ball that's gonna fly around and knock people over, right? So that's typically all of the exploits you see are around the character, because Roblox gives control of it. Now, a lot of games have to like bodge checks on top of that. So You know, they'll say, oh, is the player moving too fast? If they are, maybe they're exploiting, things like that. Whereas server authority is, I don't actually control the player at all. It's the server that controls it. Now, this doesn't mean that I press the D key on my keyboard, it goes up to the server, back down again, and then I see it move, because that would be a horrible delay. But it's actually doing something way smarter than that. So it's kind of like time travel, basically. So I press the D key on my keyboard and I see my little gnome character move to the right, but I haven't actually moved yet. It goes up to the server and the server says, yeah, you can move to the right. And then it comes back down and then it confirms with the client, yeah, you can move to the right. But let's say I'm cheating in some way, or I try to move into an obstacle that like exists on the server but like doesn't exist on the client or something like that, or I'm moving really fast, then you can have what's called a desync. So my client prediction is actually not in full time with what the server says is right, and at that point, that's where the time travel thing comes in. My prediction needs to roll back to where I was before, so it'll place me back over here, and then I'll just keep playing. Now, often these desyncs are really slight, so you don't notice it too much, right? If it's just a little frame here or there. This is what a lot of big games already do. So nearly all competitive gaming, like Rocket League or Overwatch, you know, name a big competitive multiplayer game where people are moving around lots, they all use this system. And that's why Roblox want to add it, so that there can be really competitive multiplayer games and they can compete more with the gaming industry at large, especially for like over 18 games. But it is very difficult to get right on Roblox. I mean, the advantage of, you know, if you're making Rocket League, for instance, you can customize and hone all aspects of the netcode specifically for Rocket League, whereas Roblox, they always have to make it generic so that you can make all kinds of games with it. And on Roblox, all assets are streamed in, so it also works with streaming enabled. So that the tech stack is really complex when you think about it. 8 says, I thought Server Authority was still in beta. Is it fully released? Yes, it is still in beta. You're now allowed to publish games with it. So the official sort of Roblox line is publish stuff for testing, but don't consider it a full release. So yeah, this game is public currently. I'm just tempted to release this thing, to be honest, and I hope it gets better over time. I might try and share it with the Roblox team. We'll see. Rob Tutorial says, can you make a tutorial for a game like this? Well, if you want a much toned down football game, you can check out my beginner scripting series from a few years ago. But a game like this is much too big to fit into one tutorial, that's for sure. A lot of code involved with something like this. I can give you the building blocks to make something like this, but I can't give you step by step. Randy says, you helped me make my first game. Thank you. Dirt Border Collie says, is this a solo project? Yeah, pretty much. Just had a little bit of help from Claude with a few things, although honestly half the time it's unhelpful. But yeah, solo project, no one else involved with it. And yeah, that's the whole point of Server Authority, is that it fully prevents exploiting, which is pretty crucial. Cookie, I noticed you said earlier something about the ball physics lacking depth. Yeah, they do. That's because it's not a pure physics simulation. I'm not using Roblox physics. I initially wanted to, but they're nowhere near reliable enough. So there's just kind of like a basic simulation that happens. So yeah, like a ball can like bounce like once or twice, and then it just moves straight along the floor, which isn't that realistic, I guess, but I feel like it works fine because I don't need the depth of collisions you get in Rocket League, where it's like truly a 3-dimensional arena. You know, you can't like jump or go up the walls or on the ceiling in my game, right? For the most part, you are just passing it along the floor. Stray 2005 says, is it possible to make a living off Roblox as a small developer? Short answer, absolutely yes. Caveat being, depends what a small developer is. Some people would say I'm a big developer because I've been around on Roblox a long time, and you know, I've got a following and everything. But in terms of like the professional world of Roblox, I can tell you I am definitely one of the smaller guys. There's some huge studios on Roblox now with some huge money behind them. Right, I've not got any multi-millionaire funding or anything like that, but individuals can absolutely make it. I mean, last year we had Dead Rails made by Rico, the biggest game on the platform. That was basically a solo project from him, so it can absolutely still be done. A lot of people read too much into CCU, I would say. You know, like, oh, what CCU can you make a living off Roblox with? CCU is so unreliable. You know, you can have a game with 10k CCU and another game with like 500 CCU, and the game with 500 people in is actually making more money than the game with 10k, believe it or not. Massive variance. Like, CCU is great, but it's like a vanity metric ultimately. Danny Lowe's games aren't that small. I don't think you can make a living off DevX. My goodness. What has Danny Lowe made? I don't recall. Let me see. Let's look him up. Danny Lowe on... he's not even called Danny Lowe on Roblox, is he? I'm going to have to... What's his Roblox username? Cookie. And I'll look him up. Marble Run Tycoon. All right, let's look that one up then. Marble Run Tycoon. This one? Or number 2? By Luna Games. Is this him? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, I think I've seen... Oh, here he is. Yeah, he's lead scripter. So he doesn't even own this, right? This guy has... So there's some sort of percentage thing going off. So, I mean, that makes a huge difference immediately, right? Whether or not you've got 100% of the game or not. So I've never sold any percentages for my games, or done a split, a revenue split, in the development. So if you've got a small pie and you've got to slice that pie, then you're cutting it down a lot. But yeah, I wouldn't view this as big enough to be making a living off. But it all comes down to the monetization. I mean, what we could do is I'll show you this website. This is made by Alvin Blocks. Hang on, let me just sign in. He gave me is this the right account? Yeah, okay, cool. So we can search for this game on the website. And it gives us some stats. It's peaked, it says. So I mean, these are essentially made up numbers, right? You can't determine a CCU to the USD calculation, but I bring these up just to give you an idea, right? That it's interesting to talk about, right? So this might be wildly inaccurate, but let's say it's making $600 a month. I could believe that. It wouldn't sound unreasonable to me. You know, if you're splitting that 3 ways, then yeah, $200 a month. You're not going to be doing a huge amount now, are you? But I mean, what's this? This is based on 5,000 daily active users, right? So that's not that many DAO. So you probably want to put it up a bit. But yeah, a lot of Roblox games have short lifespans. So, you know, let's say you spend 3 months developing a game, and then maybe your game dies within a month or 2. Then, I mean, your game, and you're splitting it 3 ways. That means that your game has got to be like really making a huge amount of money within that short period. Some people pull it off with some shovelware creations. I mean, generally, I like to try and make a game have a long life cycle, and not telling you that I've figured it out. But I like to think my games have more longevity than a lot of people. You know, so obviously my game Teddy still going, still got an audience all this time on. I've also got Chaos Survival, which again is sitting, it's got 700 in, you know, often gets up to 2k CCU. I mean, this is kind of a small game, right? It's only had 16 million plays. I mean, Marble Run Tycoon, 40 million, right? So it's had a lot of plays. But it all comes down to what the monetization is. It all comes down to that at the end of the day. And I think there is a balancing point between being over monetized and then just essentially being slop. And yeah, you might make a bit of money for a few days from like some iPad kids, but because it looks like over monetized slop, people don't really want to come back and play it. And so I'm not talking about this game here, I should be clear. I'm just talking in general terms. But it's not easy. It's not easy monetizing things. But yeah, you need to have a big base. Slop is super profitable on Roblox, yes. But for every like slop trend game that does well, there are another 100 that don't. So people overestimate how much money you make from slop. There is such, it's like an iceberg or something. There is such unfathomable depths to Roblox slop that never makes it. And there's a whole industry around, you know, people like buying up these failed slot games. I mean, I don't like to have anything to do with that world. let's look up FIFA Super Soccer. These guys are my competitors. 36k. Oh, what was the peak? Did it tell me the peak for it might not have it. 5.7k. I mean that's awesome. 5k CCU. Awesome. I mean that's a big drop off over a kind of short amount of time, really. It's not been around that long, has it? Oh, when was it launched? No, I don't know. You never know with these created dates when they're actually made. I mean, it might simply be that players like unlock everything. I don't know. I haven't played the game, but if you've not got enough players to come back to, then they won't. Anyway, we're going to look up FIFA Super Soccer. So, you know, even on a conservative basis, they're making $13,000 a month. They could be making $155,000 a month. So we've got a pretty big range here. You know, what is it? So this is based on one ARPDAO. I mean, one ARPDAO is pretty high, I would say, for this kind of sports game. But anyway, I pull this up because would you say that the developer of FIFA Super Soccer is a big dev? I mean, somewhat, right? 10,000 CCU is huge. But I don't think this has that many people behind it. At least I don't know if it changed with them getting the FIFA sponsorship, but I'm pretty sure like it's not. I mean, there's 37 people listed as dev, but you never know what that actually means. But it didn't. I don't think it used to be that big anyway. When it was, what was it called? Super Soccer League. Yeah, Super League Soccer is what it used to be called. They got the FIFA sponsorship now, which is interesting. But yeah, as Well says, I've never heard of that game. Yeah, like 1 billion visits is huge on the one hand, but also there's a lot of games now on Roblox with 1 billion. I mean, Teddy's not that far off. You know, we're what, 800 million? Oh, 840, right? Like, no one's heard of Teddy, really. It's all relative stuff, you know, and then you compare it to like 99 Nights at the Forest, right? And then it's another magnitude entirely. You know, I mean, no one's going to argue that these guys aren't big devs or big games aren't big devs, but there's a lot of nuance. I mean, this Roblox is so big, and you know, I see it's just Dirt Border Collie says, you know, the game's changed so much since then, yeah, and the platform has changed so much. There's so many games now with huge player bases, like you can barely keep up. You know, it used to be that everything at like 10k was like a big game that everyone on Roblox would know. It's like not the case now. Murder Mystery 2, most evergreen game. Yeah, I can't argue with that. And I love how it, you know, they still have these classic thumbnails. Awesome. Hey, Chris Roblox, how are we doing? 1 billion is a milestone, but nowadays it doesn't feel as big as one. Absolutely. It's like what? what did Dead Rails get to? Or like some of these games that just like, you know, it's a short amount of time, like 6 billion. Nuts, right? I've been interesting to see Sell Lemons. Like, this is just a classic tycoon, really. It's got really good progression and loads of dopamine hits and everything, but this is absolutely killing it at the moment. Have any of you guys seen this? Interesting little game that's come out of nowhere. Especially like the thumbnail. I wouldn't have thought it would be doing as well as it is. Oh, you're in the game, Chris. If you wanna join me, we can play a game. Cool. Oh, there we go. Oh, I need to update this screen to show the display names. Let me write that down quickly. I forgot. Invite screen. Because otherwise it's super confusing. You go on there and you're like, wait, who's Fishy? You're not Chris. Right, off we go. So this is basically FIFA, but on Roblox. That's what we got here. And we are coming for all of the football games on this platform that frankly aren't very good. And no one's doing this where you control the whole team. So I think it's time for a proper football game, and we're calling it football because it's not soccer, it's football. Yeah, I like that. I like that you like that we haven't got the phones. Yeah, keeping it a little bit arcadey and keep it flowing. Performance issues, though, are present. Change the default running animation. Yeah, that's an idea. I mean, we've got like the sprint one in. That's actually, if I remember correctly, I grabbed the sprint animation from like an official Roblox Adidas partnership or something. Where are you from saying football? Well, England, obviously, the home of football, but also the majority of the world calls it football, other than you Yanks. I said earlier on the stream, I am slightly concerned it affects, like, you know, searchability or whatever, causes confusion, but I couldn't bring myself to name the game soccer. I couldn't do it. Why did they fall dead on the floor when attacked? When attacked. Well, it's a slide tackle. I just thought it was funny. That's your answer. And it's just it's a homage to when real men played football, real proper crunching tackles. We got no fouls in this game. You know, back in the day, when football was a real sport, they didn't used to have substitutions. And I think it was like, you know, some of the you can go back and watch like 70s FA Cup games or whatever. I remember I think there was one, it's like Arsenal Leeds or something like that semi-final, and there's literally a guy who's playing the game with a broken arm. You know, it just kept going. It just kept going. I should name football like the French. They just call it foot. Is it really? Huh. Nice one. Your team color is white, but I have a white rectangle, do I? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean the red rectangle is you just always red. I just took that from FIFA, right? So the opponent has a blue rectangle, you're red. The white is taken off because that's like our primary color. Even though we're like, you know, a white and pink shirt, but I think the pink is the secondary color. So that's what Ever's taken from the top there. I mean, I guess actually the little radar thing we have at the bottom, I'm in blue, aren't I, on the radar? That should be the other way around technically. Yeah, the opponent's red. And then it's like bright green for the player that I'm controlling. Do you get more money in higher divisions? Yes, you do. It's not that dramatic, but there's a sliding scale. So you get basically everything changes depending on the result of the match, whether you win, lose, draw, and then whether you're playing a player, whether you're playing an AI, and then if you're playing an AI, depends what difficulty you're at. I think the most you can get is like 100 or so coins for... Well, let me check. I can look at my formula. I can tell you. If you're in Division 1 and you win a game, yeah, the most you can receive is 100 coins. And then if you get promoted into Division 1, then you get 750 coins. Whereas getting promoted from Division 10, you only get 350. So there's a little bit of a creeping scale. Wait, what just happened? I wasn't even looking. Did we just get the ball out of bounds? Oh, shoot. That's not good. That's not good. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's nothing we can do here. Right, I wanna rewind the stream. Let me see what happened there. I missed it. Right, what happened? Right, we're getting stream inception now. So, kicked it out. I'm now AFK because I was looking at, and then he kicked it over there and straight out. Okay. Nothing weird. I don't know if we'll actually have errored. I think we just got, yeah, we haven't errored. I don't know if it was just like a weird, like, frame edge case. Because it's not actually using Roblox physics. It's just like a simulation of a ball. And it's supposed to check if the trajectory of the ball, if the trajectory of the ball is on course with a wall and then rebound off it. But obviously what I'll need to do is I'll need to add in a manual check where if for some weird reason the ball does go out of bounds like this, we'll just teleport it back in. Yeah, floating point error. I don't know, something like that. Just some shenanigans happening. Nah, I don't want throwing. I like having it that you can we score a goal from the halfway line where you can do rebounds. I don't want a full simulation. I'm not adding nice. I'm not adding offside for the same reason. But yeah, good test case to run into. I'm glad we saw that happen. That's the beauty of playtesting. Now we can patch it. Nice. We bounced it over his head. So that is one weakness the goalies have is that they're not very good above them, so you can get it over them. If you get the aim and the power right, you can score a goal quite easily. But the lob's kind of weird. It's like it's not very good from close range because it goes really high really soon. But from long range, it's quite good. Ooh, hit the post. I need to have sound effects for the post to make it a bit more dramatic. Yeah, so I need to improve the goalkeeper so he can get stuff above him a little bit easier. Hey, Gnome Code, haven't been watching you, or have been watching you for a long time. Do I think it's worth it trying out Unity for game development? Been developing on Roblox for a while. Yeah, absolutely. Well, give it a try. There's no reason not to try Unity, really. I mean, it's pretty different to Roblox, but also there's a lot of similarities. I mean, one thing that I think you will miss if Roblox is your only experience of game dev is like all the stuff Roblox gives you out of the box, right? You've got the character controllers, you know, all of the like health and respawn logic, and it's all there. And then if you want to have multiplayer, it's just all ready to go. You know, if you want to make a multiplayer game, then that's going to be quite hard to do. You're going to have to figure out the netcode yourself if you're doing it on Unity. Godot is probably an easier transition, as Werewolf points out. But just try these things out, honestly. Especially if you're like still young and you enjoy making games and maybe you think you want to do more of this, then you've not really got anything to lose. Like in my case, I would quite like to try out Godot, but honestly, I can't really justify spending the time on it right now. How do you feel about the new input contacts? Are you talking about, is it called action system or something? Yeah, I mean that it feels very much like the Unity input system actually. They released it alongside the server authority beta, I'm pretty sure, which I'm actually using here, and they added that so that it's not so client dependent, the controls. Werewolf says I say Goddo in a funky way. That's how you're supposed to say it though. It's not Godot. It's Goddo. I don't think most people know this. It's funny because it's got famous, but it's called that because it's named after a play called Waiting for Godot. And I haven't seen this play, but I know the reference. And Waiting for Godot is a joke that people say is for something that takes a long time, that never happens. It's like an infinite wait, because I don't think Godot ever arrives in the play. But that's the idea, that they're waiting for him. And so they named the engine Godot because it felt like it was taking forever. It was an infinite project. They didn't think they were ever going to release it. So it was like an in-joke. All right, let's end this stream here. We found out a few things to fix. I think you guys have such a crazy right arm. I think the big issue with this game still remains, is the performance good enough, right? And that's hard to say, because I'm not sure where we can really go to make it that much smoother. So I might just have to throw this out there and put it at the mercy of everyone, and just see if like I get hate and down like bombed and everything. We'll maybe just see what happens. It's certainly not ideal, but we might end up doing that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean it runs decent. It depends how, you know, how finicky you're being. I mean, you judge it from yourself from this stream, right? Like, I've got a perfectly decent connection here. I mean, the interesting thing about the server authority is, in a weird way, it's less reliant on your internet connection because you're still predicting it. So in some ways, it actually performs better than in a client authoritative or client validated setup, right? Like if you're moving around in just like a standard base plate setup, right, in multiplayer, it will feel smooth for your individual character controller, but you'll see the whole world lagging, right? Because you're on that slow speed. So it's really slow for you to get the updates. Whereas the difference is here, the whole thing will try and keep simulating. So it's a bit all or nothing, right? You're not going to have the whole... You're not going to have your footballer feel smooth, but the world feeling laggy. Everything is in sync because it's all on the server. So it actually handles slow clients a little bit better. Woo, did you see that? I got stuck in the slide state. So the tests I've run so far, it performs quite well. I was gonna test out another game from a friend of mine from the Gnome Code Academy, but we're not gonna have time. I'm gonna have to end this stream pretty soon. I want to do more, get back into doing more streams, doing more of the playing your games streams, right? They're good fun. I like testing people's games out and giving feedback without the stress of having to fix anything myself. That's always good fun. But I'll tell you, I mean, if you guys want to check out the game, anyone that's still here, let me just show you the game that I was going to play. Let me bring it up. Yeah, you see that? Elder Tree Co-op Survival. Check this game out if you have time. Worth having a look. It's pretty good. It's pretty well made. Closest thing is a bit like 99 Nights, I guess. I will definitely go play Total Football tomorrow. I need to surpass the dev in Division 9. That's it. You see, you're hooked in. That's the only reason I'm doing the playtest today, actually, Werewolf, is just to farm points for the Division. My own game. All right, 10 seconds left. Can we score? Ah. Right, let's have a look at this division before we go. Oh, we've got a third player in the division. Oh, so we're both going up, Werewolf. We're both going to be in Division 8 together. He's only got 3 points, so I think that means that like he just did a draw against the AI. Like, how'd you get 3 points? How did he get 3 points? The minimum should be 4, I thought. Maybe I tweaked the algorithm. The division numbers go up, so Division 1 is the top division. Teddy, 1 billion visits before 2027. I don't know. The game's done quite well, actually, over the last couple of months. There was a period where I thought the game was going to die, actually. You know, we were starting to go below 1K regularly. And then now we've been getting like up to 4K on the weekends. So it's been climbing a bit. Because we seem to be stuck on 800 million for like a long time, and now it's at 840, so it's going up a bit. I would love to reach that billion mark. You know, it would mean a lot. You know, I mean, it's just I'm blessed to have the game continue to have an audience. I must have got something right. It still has players all this time on. Created in 2020. I'm not quite at the levels of Murder Mystery 2, but there's not many games that have been on the platform so long. I mean, there's Build a Boat that comes to mind. Natural Disaster Survival would be another one. I mean, there's a few games from that 2020 era, right? So obviously, there's Piggy, which my game is inspired by. What else came out in 2020? I feel like there's something else around. How many people are playing Obby but on a bike these days? Still 2K people playing this. What about Pet Simulator? Which one? That didn't come out in 2020. You mean 2? No, that came out before then, I think. Is this the right one? Well, created 2019, if that's to be believed. Pet Simulator X was like a year or two back. Oh. Created 2021. Oh, okay. Maybe I stand corrected then. I thought it was way more recent. Pets RNG died. I thought Pets RNG was quite good for its genre. I feel like Slime RNG is like the spiritual successor of Pets RNG. Are people still playing Souls RNG? They are. Wow. How are there still 50,000 people playing Souls RNG? Never understood this thing. At least like Slime RNG is, to me at least is way more fun, Pet RNG. I feel like there's more to keep playing there. All right, what are you saying, Chris? For Total Football, after every game is concluded, you should show like some progress, not just code, either rank progress or an unlockable pack with like quests so players doesn't leave. Yeah, we need more ding 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 going on. I agree. I mean, after you finish the game, it does show you your rank in the league. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's kind of subtle. We need more dopamine hits. I mean, to some extent, I'm kind of worried that the game itself is kind of flat, right? Because it's like you get in and you, the terrible, you have to play football for 4 minutes, right? But is the brain rot generation are not going to be impressed. They just got to play football for 4 minutes. I mean, if I had like infinite budget and time, I would add commentary sound effects. I mean, that would be really cool. But I don't think there's a huge amount we can do in like tweaking up. I mean, crowd noises, more crowd reactions, stuff like that. But I don't think there's a huge amount we can really do. But yeah, when I finish the game, this match, I'll kind of talk about the post-match screen a little bit. And then if you're still here, Chris, you can tell me like what you think it should look like, because I'm always interested. You need to add abilities like the anime football. Yeah, so I think it arguably would make the game more popular, arguably, but also there's no like straight, honest football game, so maybe this will end up being more popular. I think skills people would like, you know, like you can do like a little spin or something on the ball. That's what a lot of the football games have, but I'm not really a fan of it. I feel like it would be a bit clunky. Honestly, like we got the sprint. The sprint is kind of taking the place of skills. And I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, if you're doing a skill, then you can't get slide tackled. I like the fact that you can just always be clobbered with a good slide tackle. This is total football. If one player leaves the game, you should do an AI takes over instead of concluding it. Yeah, we have that in here. So that should all be working fine. I'm sorry, Burrito dude. We're kind of rushing you here. Name it real football. So I think there's a game on Roblox called Real Football. So that has a little bit of a player base, so I wouldn't want to confuse it with that. Totally accurate football. Oh, it was a joke? I thought that was a real suggestion. I mean, I've been brainstorming for names. I kind of, one reason I settle for total football is because it's like a term in of itself. Like, total football, I think, is what they call the Dutch method of like attacking football. So it kind of works quite nicely already being a thing. You can't control the goalkeeper, no. So when the goalkeeper gets the ball, he just boots it out sort of generically to the middle of the park. And one reason I've done that is so there's like a decent chance that someone else wins the ball when the goalkeeper boots it out, just to kind of like switch up the possession a little bit. You can dribble around the keeper. It's technically possible. But yeah, so we get a little ding, 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 ding when you get your little coin reward. And this here, although it's not entirely obvious, this is telling you where you are in the division. So I'm first in the division with 600 points. I need to make it more clear, because I don't think that is that clear that I'm first in the division. It just looks like name code FC and some numbers. I could have a pop-up showing the full division table as we have in the hub world. Could do that. Not sure if that's overkill. I mean, the kind of obvious thing maybe is to have, and I talked about this earlier, is I do like the idea of having individual players that are part of your team, and then they could have individual stats. And so after a game, you could maybe see like the attributes of your players, like they've upgraded and so on. But that is a whole other thing, having individual player stats that I don't really want to get into right now. Right, Chris says, make it be like an animation with your rank coming in with a cool rank emblem, and then it counts up your rank. I think that would be cool. Just show more progress. Yeah. We need a progress bar. I don't know what the progress bar would be for, but some kind of progress bar would be nice. I think I should maybe give away packs as well, maybe. So at the moment you have to buy the packs with coins. I think maybe I could do it like every 10 games you unlock a free pack, or every 5 games, or just some kind of amount. It's a bit rough to get a pack. They're expensive. Yeah. Yeah. Show the top 3 players in the division. Yeah. Although, one issue with that is that, would that be clear what they were? You know, if you just see like 2 other random names. Yeah, maybe we just do daily quests. That could be really fun, actually. Yeah, we could have like make 100 passes. You know, something that we could add fairly easily is we could do like football stats, like possession, shot accuracy, things like that. That could add a lot of detail to the sort of simulator-esque aspect of the game, and then we could also gamify it with a quest system. That might be what we need, actually. So it's like, you know, get a shot accuracy above 60% or whatever. That could be interesting. Pass to every player on your team or something. Yeah. Yeah, quests. I think that's what we got to do. And then the pack thing's tricky because I agree that it's a bit rough. Like the packs are a bit expensive. But it's kind of my main monetization angle. See, obviously you can buy this stuff when it cycles into the shop. And I don't feel like they're that expensive because this currency I've just amassed from playing the game today. Yeah. Oh, Chris, you hit on a good point there. Have a find game button beside the rematch and leave. Yeah, so at the moment, when you click play, that's only looking at people in this server. So on my list of to do is to have it use messaging service so you can actually matchmake across servers. So at the moment, it's like unless someone plays play within the same 10-second window as you do, you just get matched with an AI. So obviously when the game gets bigger, we need to be able to matchmake across servers so that you can play against a player more reliably. Werewolf says, vibing with the default kit. Second best player in the whole world, Werewolf. How does that feel? What an honor. I honestly don't really understand how the 500 highly engaged users thing works, to be honest with you. Like, so I have a game called sizzle a sausage, which was an experiment for me. And this is not a big game. Like, let me bring it up. Right, this has only got 26 CCU. And I don't think the demographic for this game is 18-year-olds. And yet, and it doesn't make a huge amount of money or anything like that. Okay, but if we look at the reach for it, apparently I'm at 500 highly engaged players. I don't really understand it, to be honest, because like, what's the DAO for this? Like, it's not that. Like, I only get, that's not a lot of players, is it? You know, it's sitting around the top 10,000 benchmark, which is the lowest benchmark. And yet it's hit it. And yet, and my other game, which is bigger, started off with a low account. Like, if I go on, so this is at 50k daily active, and the reach is 500. But I just miss the old days of you just push the game out, and then you knew everyone can play it, and then you knew how the monetization worked. I mean, now it's like, oh, you gotta have Roblox Plus, or you gotta pay the 1,000 Robux fee, or and then maybe you can qualify for your highly engaged players. And then it's like with the monetization stuff, oh, if they're over 18 and they spend money, then you might get a slightly more higher DevX rate. And then for the what's it called, creative awards, and it's like, oh, there's all this rate, and then if people come back after a certain point, then you get a different rate. And then if they're a dead account and then they reactivate, then you get a little bit more. I mean, there's all this like minutia of stuff. I love this average of 0% of reaching highs of 0.02 and then back down to 0 again. It's great stuff. Right, did someone want to play me? Did this guy want a game? I think he did, didn't he? All right, Flag Raft. We'll play you. You're gonna go down though. I think it's going to be 10 again, guys. I want to try and get round the keeper if we can. There we go. Nice. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I like looking at stats and analytics, but I think I'm just weird. I mean, I don't think it's just you. There's like an entire genre of video games built around, you know, they call them spreadsheet games for a reason, right? Like Football Manager or so many games you can name. I mean, even in FIFA, they have like such a huge stat window. It does feel like the logical thing to add stats to the game. Nemcode is bullying new players. Yeah, absolutely. I noticed earlier, Werewolf, you mentioned about like having the matchmaking so you weren't just with randoms. Yeah, that's on my to-do as well. With I mentioned how I wanted the matchmaking across servers. I also want to respect what division you're in and like what device you're on to some extent. But then it's a question, you want a bit of leeway, right? Like, You don't want to have it where like a Division 10 player can never matchmake against a Division 9 player. That's just silly. But then do you want to have a scenario where, say, a Division 1 player literally can never matchmake against Division 10? Just give them AI? I don't know. I think it's probably better to have it so that it always gives you a player, but it just tries to find a preference if there is one. But I don't know. I mean, if it's your first time experience and you come up against gnome code, then that's pretty bad, isn't it? So maybe we'll just give them AI, because playing AI on hard mode is actually quite difficult. It's reasonably difficult. So yeah, maybe there's like a three division buffer or something like that where you can play against. And obviously, if you set up a manual party, like I've got that party system, then that's fine. I'm not gonna like stop people playing against their friends, but yeah, AI hard mode is not like impossible to beat or anything, but it is genuinely hard. Like, it's harder than playing against a new player. Let's put it that way. I mean, I could make it harder still. I could have like a legendary mode maybe. I mean, one thing at the moment, the AI doesn't get any better at shooting or better at saving goals on any of the difficulties. The only thing that changes is how quickly they make passes, how quickly they tackle, and whether they sprint or not. Yo, Nemco, loving the stream and just came to say your tower defense game thought was good and helped me out a lot. Cheers. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's always good to know the tower defense series is still getting the love all this time on. What has it been, like 5 years since that tower defense tutorial came out? Yeah, aware of the performance issues, the burrito dude. Downside of using the server authority to play off. I talked about it a lot on the stream. He wants a rematch. The absolute madman wants a rematch despite getting thrashed 12-0. What do we think, guys? Do we give him a rematch? Teddy tutorials were a long time ago, that's for sure. Do we give him a rematch? I think we end things here, folks. I watch more Teddy tutorials than I've touched grass. What, just endlessly on repeat? I remember there was a period where I'd like go into the Discord and people would just be like playing my YouTube videos for some reason. Just as like, I don't even know, background ambience. I need to fix those. I notice those like glow circle things I have, like the menus, like unanchored, or at least they're moving somehow. I'll write that down. But anyway, folks, I think this playtest has been pretty helpful. I I'm gonna set the game back to private. As I don't. There's a few things we need to fix, and it's not quite there yet. So I'm gonna set it back to limited to playtesters, and that'll do for the stream. So thank you very much, everyone. I should probably be getting to bed. It is gone past midnight for me. But for everyone else, have a good day, good evening, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers, guys.